And happy Monday. Hello again, everybody. Today we get into another pretty famous story from the Bible. If you haven't seen the movie, you've probably seen it in books or Sunday school or just heard about it in word of mouth, but it's going to be all of Exodus chapter 3. This is Moses and the burning bush. So we see what happens to Moses after he flees to Midian. Hey, no barking. I'm recording, alright? The TV's off, nothing to bark at. Solo just wandered down. That's our dog. He's not a little Yorkie, he's a big Yorkie. Alright, buddy. Thank you. Alright, so Moses and the burning bush. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, Here I am. Do not come any closer, God said. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. At this Moses hid his face, because he was afraid to look at God. The Lord said, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the home of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. And now the cry of the Israelites has reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? And God said, I will be with you, and this will be the sign to you that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this mountain. Moses said to God, Suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, The God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, What is his name? Then what shall I tell them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites, I am has sent me to you. God also said to Moses, Say to the Israelites, The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, the name you shall call me from generation to generation. Go, assemble the elders of Israel, and say to them, The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, appeared to me and said, I have watched over you and have seen what has been done to you in Egypt. And I have promised to bring you up out of your misery in Egypt into the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, a land flowing with milk and honey. The elders of Israel will listen to you. Then you and the elders are to go to the king of Egypt and say to him, The Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. Let us take a 3-day journey into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God. But I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless a mighty hand compels him. So I will stretch out my hand and strike the Egyptians with all the wonders that I will perform among them. After that, he will let you go. And I will make the Egyptians favorably disposed toward this people, so that when you leave, you will not go empty handed. Every woman is to ask her neighbor, and any woman living in her house, for articles of silver and gold, and for clothing, which you will put on your sons and daughters, and so you will plunder the Egyptians. So, what a awesome sight to behold, because at first it says that an angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. So it was the angel of the Lord that set the bush on fire, and then God spoke to him through that bush, it sounds like. I mean, can you imagine that? Just coming up upon a bush that was burning, like on fire, on fire, but not actually burning away. I don't know, that's, you talk about something that science can't imitate, at least, or, try to disprove that it was God. That's something back then that would have. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how anybody can go about saying that, somebody was trying to fake that. Well, then again, a lot of people would just say that the Bible isn't true or accurate anyway. But people who think that the Bible, if you assume that the Bible is true, and then you try to disprove things that happen in the Bible, I just don't know how you can come up with one for that. Another big thing is that God says that I am who I am. So there is no, God has a lot of different names, but he just simply says to say I am who I am. And, Moses is a little bit nervous about being the one who speaks to the Israelites. But God just reassures him that he's going to be with him. And another part that I think will have a little bit of questioning, verses 18, 19, 20. So God knows that Pharaoh will not let the Israelites go on their 3-day journey. And now it's not just saying for them to leave altogether. It just has a 3-day journey into the wilderness to offer sacrifices. And he knows that Pharaoh won't let them do that, unless a mighty hand compels him. So it's not that, why wouldn't God just change Pharaoh's mind and let his Israelites go, or perform some powerful, spectacle to let his people go without all of this stuff happening to the Egyptians? And it's just based on free will. I mean, God does have the power to do whatever he wants, but because of free will that he gave all of us humans, Pharaoh he doesn't interfere with our decisions like that. So we have to decide the right thing. And but he knows at the same time, he knows everything that's going to happen. So he knows that Pharaoh isn't going to do this, but he's also not going to intervene, because that's what free will is all about. Yeah, I think that's about it for me that I was thinking as I read through it. I did like that he said he will strike the Egyptians with all the wonders that he will perform among them. He doesn't say, anything. I mean, obviously, there are going to be things that we look at and say, it was harsh, or, uncomfortable at the least, but he calls them wonders because they are. I mean, just being able to do that, it's a wonder. What happened with Noah and all of the animals coming to him two by two, same thing, a wonder. So that's just another example of God's power. But yeah, so that is the burning bush. Let me know what you guys think about it. Yeah, we'll continue on tomorrow with Moses' story. We're only in chapter 3 of Exodus, and already there's just so many things that I like thinking about with Moses' story and comparing it to the movie, because they Hollywoodize things all the time. So yeah, have a great start to your week, and I will see everybody again tomorrow morning.